Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where last time we learned about certain people that carry water throughout the city, salt water specifically, and that explains why, when we were lingering a couple of episodes back, we saw several people carrying water about the fleet field. Hello there.
We have our own tasks to complete, stranger, and have no time to speak with such as you.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I was wondering if you needed any help with your task. Why? That's a good question.
Forgive Einat her distrust, stranger, but we have reason to be wary.
Our master is very particular about the means by which we carry out his commands. We bring seawater through the city to the fountains inside of Surbirix, the citadel of the winds. Each morning we do this, and every night those fountains are emptied to await our return the next morning. It is hard, heavy work, and there are fewer of us now than there used to be. Azagoth has dismissed some of our fellows before now, but no one seems to know where Saduk has gone. Oh, he may be fine and he may not, but without Saduk, our work will be more difficult. Azagat smiles with his mouth, but his eyes are unmoved. And if we do not find some way to replace Saduk's burden, we may be the next to disappear. Prove to me that you can carry this bowl of seawater without spilling a single drop, and perhaps you can accompany us to the citadel. Bring it to the courtyard of the teeming net tavern to the southeast, and we will see if you are steady enough to join us. The teeming net tavern to the southeast. I don't know what the odds are of me actually finding the correct tavern. Well, let's go and give it a try. Right. Now don't ask me how I managed to do this without spilling a drop while I am running. Well, it looks like it's going to be the teeming net tavern is. Can I get there this way? I'm going to say no. How about up this way? Tricky thing is finding this tavern, right? Oops, perhaps I went a little bit too far. Yeah, that's the tricky thing with it. Finding this oh, actually, here it is. Ah, there you go. You have accomplished the task set before you by Ushu and Inat. Alright, fine. Well, back to the docks. Perhaps I need to be a little less conspicuous with the weapons if I am going to be heading into the area.
You did well enough, stranger.
You may accompany us when we next perform our duties, and I will ask no questions of you. Your reasons for wanting to gain access to the Surbirix are your own, but you must endanger none of my friends. If such treachery seems possible, I will alert the guards at once. Let this last warning guide your steps. Neither Anat nor I know what happened to Saruk, but of this I am certain. He saw something that he was not supposed to see. Some secret of the sea shadow, and now he's paid for it. Azagoth is dangerous. We water bearers may be beneath his notice, but it may not be possible to always remain so. Gotcha.
We have a long way to carry these bowls of seawater.
It is our tradition to set these bowls down for a brief rest just before crossing the bridge of the Surbirix. Are you ready to begin? I suppose it is time to begin. Let us go.
That is enough rest for now. Pick up the water bowl again and cross the bridge.
Yeah. Very well. You go ahead and stay on the left side and climb the hill to the keep. Stay to the left and climb the hill to the keep. Gotcha? And let's see how well this works. And whether or not we survive this entire incident. And of course, do we find Thorongil? And are we able to save him? I guess that would be important. Water bearers to the left. Okay, well at least the guards are helpful in that matter. I guess they know not to interfere with the water bearers as long as they're going in the proper direction, of course. They may have to remind them of the proper direction if they are going off course, I am sure. And if they go too far off course, well, they may find themselves out of a job, or even out of more than that. But anyway, staying to the left still. Let's see if any of these guards say anything. Nope. Well, let's go. It looks like we still turn around to the left then. Because I presume we still go to the left, even though it looks like that we have taken a bit of a turn. It takes many water bearers to fill those fountains. Yes, it does. Big and small, I guess. Now, is this the fountain in question? This is the wrong way. This fountain is already filled. Oops, daisy. That fountain is already filled. Well, do you mean I'm lost? No! Oh! Up this way, I guess. So there are several fountains, I guess. If that one is already filled, and that means it's a natural mistake to make. But unfortunately, there are other fountains to go. As I said, if you go in the wrong direction, they will remind you of the proper one. Ushu and I will join you inside the citadel, stranger. Okie dokie. So, inside the citadel. I hope we're near the end. Ah, the Citadel of the Winds. Ooh, that is a big fountain. This is a fountain of seawater? You pour the seawater into the fountain and should now take up your position along the other water bearers. Okay, dokie. Now we must wait until we're dismissed. It is best that you not attract any attention. Remain within these stems with the rest of us, and we will stay beneath the notice of anyone who might take offense to our listening. So we need to eavesdrop on a conversation.
I'm bored. Try not to think about it, Thorongil.
Ooh, I found him.
I tried that.
Ah,
We may not need to keep you for much longer, young master.
oh, what is that supposed to mean?
Nakasi should have consulted with me before she brought you here.
It was a good idea, Azagath. He makes a valuable hostage, does he not?
Not as valuable as the one Koltek has arranged.
Ooh,
We will see.
there's
I
another.
do not trust the corsair he chose for this.
I think I better get my spear ready.
Lord Azagath, Your invited guest has arrived. The Corsair Jajax and his prisoner, Queen Arwen of Gondor.
What?
Greetings to you, noble Asagath. I have brought you the queen, as I promised. Your deeds exceed your reputation, Jojax. Nakase did not believe you could do this. It was not easy. Keep that in mind as we discuss my reward.
What's he up to?
Is it customary for your prisoners to retain their belongings?
It is only water. Oh, what if Queen Arwen had a thirst? Water has power. Belondo, take it from her.
The rivers of Gondor will have their vengeance upon you.
That's not Arwen.
This is not Queen Arwen. Who are you?
Listen, there has clearly been some mistake. The mistake was believing you could succeed in this deception, Jojax. You thought a jar of river water could unravel my sorceries. The rivers of Gondor have no power here, foolish ones. My strength comes from the sea, and the sea is stronger than any river. My friend, I think we might have need of you after all.
Who? Something wrong? I thought someone was out of place. I see now that it was you. You have come a long distance to be here. And it's curious that none of my fellows thought to mention your presence to me. I don't believe you could have escaped from Caltech's notice, and Armlek spies. Perhaps they tire of our continued association? I have experienced such disillusion before. Some went willingly to the knife, but only later learned what it meant. Do you think to battle me now? Do you think that you could best me in my own palace?
No, I will not fight you. You are a close friend of the King of Gondor. You will be a better hostage than either of these others.
Uh-oh.
What should we do with Rongu?
Kill him. We have no further use for him.
Out of my way.
He is just a child, Nakasi.
He is a Gondorian child, Belandor. What is that?
Uh-oh. Oh. Actually, if they're dismayed, is it good news?
Oh, you have forgotten something important, Ozagar. In the end, every river leads to the sea.
Okay.
You are not beyond our reach, Ozagar Sea Shadow.
Well, that made things easier. Hello, Nimrodel. The kindred of the coins have fled deeper into the citadel, but our purpose is fulfilled and Thorongil rescued. The power of the Five Sisters frightens Asgarth, He was right to flee from them, and his allies beside him. And yet, Roaming Star and her sisters cannot long remain this far from their homes. They have helped buy us a reprieve and freedom for the kindred's hostage, but that is all. If Azagoth and the kindred remain a threat, we cannot rely upon the five sisters to face it. Well, there is that. Jax, I see you decided to come here after all. You're lucky I came along when I did, Pine Leaf, for the kindred of the coins were only moments away from discovering you. I deemed that I saved you from an imprisonment at least, and death at most, and you would do well to reward my friendship with whatever valuables you may have at hand. Yes, but they were quite oblivious of my presence until you called attention to them. Well, who can remember now? The important thing is the great deeds that were done, and the prisoners rescued, and the legends of Jax has increased. Right. I hope that you're fine, Thorongil.
Did you see them? The five sisters.
I thought that my eyes were playing tricks on me, but they were real. I thought they were going to slay Azagoth right then and there. It's a shame that they didn't, and that he got away. Is Orgalos here? Did he sail his ship to Umbar? I went to tell him about the sea voyage. It was very exciting and dangerous, too. No, Orgalos remained behind in Anfalis, but there is someone else that did sail aboard with me that if he want to be part of your rescue. Ah, and here she is. You give Noriel a moment to embrace her son and shower him with relieved kisses. After he finally squirms away from his mother, Noriel claps you on the arm. You should have waited for the rest of us, Pineleaf. But I am pleased that you acted quickly to rescue Thorongil when the opportunity presented itself. Alright, good.
Our mission to Umbar is completed.
Both of our captives held by the kindred of the coins have been rescued. I will return with Thorongil to Anfalis as soon as it can be arranged. His father, Carandolian, will be very pleased, but not surprised to learn that we have triumphed. There will still be work to be done here in Umbar, I know that. Yes, there is that. Well, let's see what Jax has to say. Well, what do you got to say about that? Has it been so long that you have forgotten that the most important rule of all, Pineleaf? Never count Jax out of a fight, for he will return and surprise you. It is a lesson that the Prince of Dol Amroth has now learned. You should have seen his face when it became apparent that only Jax could turn defeat into victory. Aye, his seen defeat was certain. He has spies in this land, a band of whisperers and movers and secrets that go by the name of the Circle of the Eagles. And when they reported to him that your ship never arrived, he despaired. A plan was conceived, a desperate plan, but it was considered the only option left to save the captive boy. The prince could not achieve it, nor could the king. Only a corsair could do it. Only the corsair will do, and that means Jax. It is good to be owed favors by kings and princes, Pineleaf, and I shall be well rewarded for my part in this deception. I admit, I believe the water carried by Nimrodel was in some way enchanted and would prove more effective than it turned out, but all is well now. It must be the good fortune of Jax coming through to the end once again. How did my brother face the voyage? I hope he didn't make too great of a mess of things without me to set them right. Oh, yes. Oh, well. Alright, now, Nimrodel. For long years I believed that I was no longer a part of the world, and I sheltered within the Alvarim and stood at a remove from all others. The kindness of Arwen and the good heart of Roaming Star have taught me that I was wrong. In gratitude, I offered to play a role in their drama. Was it very different from the role I played for so long in the role of Dorthaneth? I have set aside my veil of mourning, Pineleaf. It is good to be of help to my friends, no matter what the dangers. Their kindness to me like the warm sun upon my skin, and I welcome it. But do not mistake me. The danger of Azagoth remains, and I judge that he is no ordinary man. I felt Sauron's mark upon him. Well, yeah, he's probably a Gurzil. I'm sure there are at least a couple of those that are still unaccounted for. Well then, how are you two getting along?
I have not had time yet to rest and speak with my brother. We have gone from one danger to another.
I look forward to hearing of Corydon's adventures and telling me of my own. Heck, perhaps that time has come. It may not last, for while the kindred of the coins has claimed to make this a free city, it would seem an evil has taken root within the membership of the council. I don't think that your business in this land is yet finished. Azagoth remains a danger, and my heart tells me that he is not the only member of the kindred who is not as they appear. Well, I still wonder about that dwarf, but that dwarf knew that we were here, and he didn't stop us in any way, so perhaps he's not totally in with Azagoth.
During the sea voyage that brought us to Umbar, I did what I could to keep Thorongil out of trouble. It was not easy.
And I tell you truly that it was a thankless task, but I am relieved that both he and I survived the passage. That he has also been brought safely from the Citadel of the Winds. It is a sign of your prowess and my memory of our shared adventures that I am less surprised by that. I look forward to hearing of my sister's adventures and the telling of my own. I cannot believe that she's alive, but, of course, she was always stubborn. She might say the same of me, but I believe the Siglet has always been more headstrong than I. Since you have spent time with each of us, only you can tell us for certain. No, you can keep your answer. I know what it is. Oh, well, what do you say about this, Sirgun?
I have listened to the account of what transpired within the citadel, and my mind is clear.
Belondor has no love for Gondor, and who could blame him for that? But he's not a monster. Whatever evil lies at the heart of the kindred of the coins, my old friend is not the cause of it. He would have prevented Nagasi from slaying the young hostage, I'm sure of it. Azagoth and the web he has woven has my friend caught, but as I was enmeshed by the commands of the steward of Denethor, Belondor is not beyond saving. Of this I am certain. Well, and what do you two have to say?
I have listened to the account of what transpired within the Citadel of Winds.
It seems to me that Azagoth's sea shadow is no mere man. Nimrindel says that she felt the mark of Sauron on him. Do you think that he may be one of the Gurzil? Well, I'm not the only one who thought of it then. If so, he has kept his nature hidden from the others of the kindred and from the Umbari people. Nakasi Wave Reaper spoke to you of the Song of Waves and Wind before she left Gondor, right? And I understand that Harmalik mentioned it when you met with her, but she knew little more than its name. Can it be that the Song of Waves and Wind has its foundation some evil of Mordor? If that is so, we cannot leave Azagoth to make it. to use it, whatever it may be. The adventures that brought us to the Umbar are over, but our work here is not yet finished. Oh yeah, you're right about that. The Song of Waves and Wind. It probably has something to do with all that water that are being collected by those water bearers.
I have spoken with the others, and I still do not understand one thing.
If the Corsairs Ajax arranged for Haltek to gain access to the citadel with his prisoner, why did the Terminator not accompany Ajax inside? If he believed that Ajax's prisoner was truly Queen Arwen, would he not want to be present at the kindred's triumph? Unless Caltech knew that Ajax was not actually captured Queen Arwen. But why would he help us rescue Thorongil? Is he secretly working against Osgot's aims? Well, I have seen that some members of the Kindred of the Coins are not united on this purpose. That is why the king under the mountain is so important, Pineleaf. I will keep thinking about it. Haltek's place is makes this my head hurt. Yeah, okay. Yes. Well, and what do you say about this, Dax?
My brother always has a plan or a scheme in mind. Do you think he had this planned all along?
Is this why my brother refused to join your crew? It must be so, surely. Well, I just wonder whether or not I should say something to support it or against it. Well, I don't know. My brother is really something, isn't he? Oh, well, I'll just nod. Now, I suppose that's it. Kyber!
It is done. But now, is it not?
We
We've carried out the commands of King Elisar.
We've carried out the king's commands. I suppose I don't really have a home anymore, though, do I? My mother and my uncle, Carolong, would not welcome me back to Ethring, not even if they knew the part that I played in this grand adventure. Especially not if they knew. It wasn't that large of a part, but I'd like to think that I was some help along the way. It is up to me to make a new home for myself now, somewhere out in this world. I was afraid of... I can't say what I was afraid of exactly. I think it was the bigness of the world, the sense of vast open spaces far beyond the land in which I grew up. It is no different here, but perhaps that is a good thing for me. I could not find a place in which to belong in the land of my birth. Maybe I will find a place here. Thank you for bringing me along on your voyage. I'll do whatever I can to help King Elisar bring peace to Gondor. And if that causes further conflict with the kindred of the coins, well, I will do what I can to help. All you needed to ask, Pineleaf. I will follow you wherever you lead. Just maybe not aboard a ship next time. Right. Because every river leads to the sea. And that is it for this little bit of the adventure, but I am sure that there is more, and we'll start that next adventure in the next episode of the Song of Waves and Wind.